You program right here on News Poster NGTV. My name is Olayinka Olatunji, welcoming you to another interesting episode of the show this morning.
And also just welcome you all our viewers globally, locally, to another interesting episode as we unfold today's daily newspapers across board to you.
Okay, we have the New Telegraph paper, we have the Daily Sun, the Punch, the Nigerian Tribune, and of course the other papers that we will be reading to your viewing pleasure this morning. Looking at the front page of the New Telegraph this morning, May 29 handover. DSS alleges plots to shuttle democracy, and of course the Foist Interim Govt.
I must confirm to you that all our daily newspapers carry
Carries
the same headlines
headline.
today
Definitely.
regarding the arrest of interim government plotters. Yes, I will begin to unfold my own stories from you from the Punch newspapers. Arrest interim government plotters. APC, PDP tells DSS.
I feel like when you know these people, a party doesn't really need to, tell the government that this is what you will do. In a bid to stop insecurity problems or to stop, let me call it like a war, because the way we're saying it is as if it's very simple. It's actually a big deal.
Is calamity of all other factions of power going around to ensure that the come May of Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu of candidate and president elect no community has been minimum now because I think the Department of State Security Service has been told about these plotters so as to curb the spread of whatever might be, even though it's a rumor. At least don't let it come to reality.
There's actually an
That's why I of the Punch newspaper this was planning court orders, protest to agency, interim government aligned to constitution, campaigners produce democracy, says APC and PDP. Just to tell you, there is a lot of people going around sure that this inauguration doesn't come to reality.
work a peace, and the elections are 4 years, and if you don't like the government of also vote, can also speak for you. I am not saying that we actually had a free and fair election. I can't say that we had a free and fair election because a whole lot of things happened during, of course, after the election, ballot voting and the likes. But then the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared winners in the governorship and presidential. We should just take it and move on.
Like I even agree with the electoral process. Let's just accept our fate.
Definitely.
In as much there is a governing council, there is a body constitutionalizing this electoral process. Let all parties just accept defeat and let the party that won, let's congratulate them and let's move on. Let's proceed.
Move on.
Even at the international level, they all have their own lapses also, which is not being reviewed out. Election has come and gone. Let's just proceed. Let's look for one way or the other to ensure that at least we take this country to the next level. It's our country. It's your country. We have no other country. Rather than coming together to form a bondage and lift this country at least to the next level. Let's ride on. Rep prevail, I won't squander. Also the same page of that Punch newspaper, heavy plans to sanction 133.
All right, so talking about moving on to this, if you're planning moving to stop, it is important that you listen to this piece of information as the U.S. has hiked and work visa fee by 15%. Where the money they?
That's quite alarming. That's alarming because from the dollar and exchange rate now. Even aside that,
15%.
15%, ha, is not a token. No. I must be sincere. It's not a token. It's not a child's play. For you to have at least, they must have their own reason anyway. For them to have rose to that level.
I think.
But nevertheless, I will implore the U.S. Government to just at least let's be considerate. Let's be considerate.
Oh, are you planning on?
No, it's not.
Jackpine.
No. Most people feel like crossing to the other side of the country of this yes, to the other side is having a greener pasture. Is the ultimate of life. Like if you could agree with me, there's a lot of people in this same country that are doing extremely well.
That are making it.
That are making it even beyond imagination. Are making more money, far better than majority at the other side of the world.
You have to work for your living even when you're out there. So it's not as easy as it seems. A whole lot of videos are come out on a daily where people say, okay, if you want to come to the US or you want to come to the UK, get ready for the cold, get ready for the work. And all right, moving on, still looking at the front page of the New Telegraph this morning. Elections, Rep summons CDS Army chief over assault on lawmaker and killing of youth.
If I may tell you, a lot of things are also happening in front of the Punch newspaper. 26 children, 125 adult Libyan returnees landed in Lagos yesterday. And this was received by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
You know, most of them came through the cargo wing of the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, and they are like a plane talking Kweru, you know.
And that also tells you that it has the similarities and it has a role.
Most of these
regarding what you just mentioned, not quite long now.
Yes.
Because these are the people that think they will find their own greener pasture at the other side of the world. And getting there, it's another different ball game. I must be sincere with you. It's not about you living your own comfort zone, your terrain, the country you know the in and crannies of where you can move to. Now, tell me, these 125 adults and the 26 children that have just been returned from Libya now,
and more
automatically
they will now come and put their own wahala on the head of the people that are in Nigeria managing our stuff, man.
I think the best way to go about these issues on ground is just to have something doing legitimately. Legitimately, not other way around, for you not to be prosecuted by the police. You all know we have a law in this country. Moving on.
Yes, moving on.
Whitney Christian School workers' trial begins today. That's another interesting story, Alainka.
You know, this case of the Whitney girl that died and the Christian School saga, you know, every time this thing is always happening and the school is being, I think, back to back now for like 2 years. They've been having issues and stuff. But then, even the parents of the said girl is begging the Lagos State government to open the school. And we're like, okay, are you done with your investigations? Are you convinced that your child was not killed? Or are you done?
Although autopsy also revealed that
she was electrocuted.
Yes, she was electrocuted in the course of the inter-sport and all of that. But nevertheless, what has happened has happened. Let's move on. Just that there is no account of explanation or persuading the family that can at least fulfill the space of that little child that went on a timely death. But nevertheless, let's just proceed. Let's proceed.
All right, Afenifere is law-abiding organization, says Fasharoti.
And also, before leaving the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, how I will tackle police corruption. That was the new PSC, Police Service Commission Chairman Solomon Arasi, that was just been appointed by the President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday, says he will tackle the corruption within the Police Service Commission.
All right, it is well we wait, and of course we look forward to you doing that. Airlines kicks as court transfers ruling on suits against Nigerian air to Abuja, and of course also 2 months to exit dates.
I'm moving ahead to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Lagos drivers protest Details of this story can be found on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune.
About the Lagos drivers' protests in the the Lagos state government says or is saying that was university 50% was slashed from transportation fees, and it's saying now that from the 1st of April, that is next month, that dividends will no longer be available.
If you could go through this report that was just been mentioned, there is two things that is communicating there.
Okay.
One, for the Lagos state government to have come out on before the governorship election, saying they slash the tea fare on the blue buses. One, what prompted them to have slashed it? Then two, why is it that after they now later won that election, they are not bringing it back to as usual? Is it that are they playing on our intelligence? Because now I must be sincere, I'm talking as an ordinary layman, as a common man. What makes them to have come down, at least to some extent?
Is it an electioneering tactics? Is it is it like a plot for you to get what you want, and now you've got what you want?
If it's a political strategy, at least let's also remember that a day will come that another person will still come and acquire that seat on the name of that same flag bearer of the ruling party now. I won't mention any name, but aside that, looking into the drivers and the commuters and hardware, I think it's the high point in time the Lagos state government should also look into an inward of the commuters and residents of Lagos, because these stories has been on before now, talking of the fees people pay, especially the drivers and the commuters pay so as to transport themselves from one place to another within the state. And this also always reflects on we commuters, because imagine from Ikotun coming to Oshodi, boarding the bus at the rate of 500 naira, 400 naira, which is very, very unusual. Unlike before in the past, at least for some couple of years back, Oshodi to Oshodi shouldn't be less than 200 naira.
Things are expensive now. Okay, looking at the Daily Sun newspaper this morning, no plans to print Biafra currency, says IPOB, denies formation of kangaroo government. The indigenous people of Biafra is saying that they don't have any plan to have their own naira notes. In fact, we can't have two contradicting money in the country. And of course, there's nothing like the Republic of Biafra. It is one Nigeria, the Igbos, the Yorubas, and the Hausas and all the tribes therein. And this is refuting, and I believe that is how it is. Denied the formation of the kangaroo government.
On this platform, we Nigerians, we agitate for one Nigeria, the unity of this country. We don't agitate for dividing the nation.
We don't.
No.
And let's stop the spread of fake news.
Fake news. If I may tell you, fake news have landed two journalists. Two journalists I knew very well. One at Kirikiri, one at Kujina. Yes, fake news, because as a journalist, you know how to source for news. Not just probably a friend or a colleague sent you an information so as to bring down somebody, or just so as to portray someone bad, without having a verification of what you are pronouncing. So please, audience, viewers, colleagues, friends, families, let's just be very, very careful of what's pronounced and what is sent out to the public. It's very, very essential. It's crucial. And moving on, from the same Tribune newspaper this morning, Senate set to recover 6 trillion unpaid grant rent from property owners. Details of that story on page 2 of the Tribune.
And I'll build country of your dreams, Tinubu assures Nigerians. You can find that on the Daily Sun paper this morning.
BVN fraud, 513 name linked to 1,370 accounts investigation begins. Details of that story can be found on page 3 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
Sometimes when our Nigerian government is working technologically to secure our accounts or maybe our day-to-day activities like having your national card and your bank verification number, and now this bank verification number is having problems, I think it's going to be a big deal because we can't have people have money in their banks and someone will just come hack the thing and have your money and stuff. It's been ongoing, but the BBN has helped a lot.
I must confess to you, at this point, I give kudos to the Nigerian police force, especially the Force Criminal Investigative Department of the force and the Interpol, because the anti-fraud units, they've been doing fantastically well, if I'm not mistaken. At least going through the record for a couple of years now, and especially when the present IG was just been sworn in. I mean, it's more like Calibaba. No. Dramatically, it has been reduced to the barest minimum. But you know one thing, we can't reduce cybercrime totally.
No, we can't.
You can only limit it. But nevertheless, whosoever that still found him or herself in such act, please endeavor to step back.
Do not forget the adage.
Police are watching.
Yes, that one day, every day is for the thief.
I'm telling you.
Is for the owner. All right, so still on the Daily Sun front page this morning. Guba Po, INEC presents certificates to Kano, Oyo, Benue, Ebonyi, Nasarawa, Rivers, and other governmental elected persons, in the just concluded elections.
Another interesting story here from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Gunshot injury. Court orders Amotekun Ondo State government to pay 30 million to a motorcyclist.
I hope they get the money.
No, definitely, because the lawyer have ordered them yesterday at the court residing in Ondo State, Akure precisely, that this man must get justice by paying him back 30 million naira for him to have invaded his fundamental human rights. Yes, and the lawyer was so amazed yesterday. In fact, he was even telling the judge, according to what I read in this paper, that he needed the Ondo State government to also go on social media platform on all our daily newspapers so as to apologize to the so-called his own client, which the judge told him that is it the money that you want or the pleading? What kind of pleading do to you? His life and all of that.
All right, talking about cashing out, this is actually not a good news, as a bandit execute 5 victims for failure to meet ransom deadline in Niger, and they threaten to kill more as they free 3 women.
I think our security architecture have listened to this, and a prompt action will be sworn in so as to ensure the bridge of peace will be a thing of past.
So, some of these hoodlums, or should I call them criminals, should know that there is a plan, there is a new monetary policy in town in Nigeria. There is a limit to the amount of money you can withdraw, even from the counter or from the ATM machine. And it's not possible for you to make transfers of like 50 million naira without the person's account being tracked. If you have a victim, in your custody, you definitely have to wait for 100 days or more before the money will be complete, because there's no way you can just walk into a bank and withdraw such a huge amount of money again. So killing these people now, I feel it's a no. In fact, we are begging, please, if there's a way that a Nigerian government can help salvage this situation, because it's going to get worse, because I don't know where these people that have been abducted will see the money to pay the abductees.
I strongly believe that the president-elect, come May 29, after being sworn in, all these security issues will be tackled, because it's part of the manifesto during the tour, during the campaign. And I can assure Nigerians, at least to some extent, that followed a track record of the president-elect. I won't mention any name, but let's just be very optimistic that the next dispensation will do something to ensure that security issues in this country will be a thing of past. Yes, I won't fail Nigerians. My manifesto, not mere word, says by Tinubu at 71.
And the MPC rules out religious consideration during census.
See the same from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Kano APC governorship candidates accept defeat, congratulate governors-elect.
And on those states as well as Ekiti states, get ready to have a good road as you ply through, because the Federal Executive Council has approved 95 billion naira for roads in Ekiti, Ondo states.
I think that's a very good one for people of the southwest, because when we are saying the part of dividend of democracy, I think now people plotting for interim government doesn't. I think they are the people of this new era that doesn't know what it takes to become the president of this country and what it even means to have a state of emergency declaring an interim government. Because compare of what happened in 1993 when Abiola won the election, I recall very well. I remember very vividly. You know, there was a little bit riot all over around, and people were just like roaming about the streets, walking on the streets across Nigeria. In fact, a lot of people died during that riot. But to the glory of God, it eventually come to pass, because that was when Babangida nullified Abiola. Yes, I must say that. But nevertheless, we nobody prays for interim government, and whosoever that is behind all this so plot, we are seizing this opportunity to applaud and to implore you, to urge you to step down, regardless of age, regardless of gender. Sincerely, our security architecture is watching. Not even only the Department of the State Security Service, even the Nigerian Army, the Air Force, the Nigerian Police, and other security apparatus are watching. Please, our national asset is very much more important and crucial to us in this country. And remember, security of lives and property is the major key role to the security architecture in this country.
All right, court fixes April 25 for judgment in suits by airline operators against Ethiopia Airline, CJ, and others.
Bogas jailed 7 years for robbing patients Jonathan.
All right, the Senate sets up committee to recover 6 trillion naira unpaid ground rents.
And now to sports. Yes, let me quickly take you to the world of sports. Messi takes history with 100 international goals. That's amazing. That's amazing. Marcel manager Mbappe is the best in the world for now. Manchester United, Man City gets date for semi-final clash. Bayern offers Bellingham 150% pay rise to stay. DG rejects new Man U contract offer. That's the goalkeeper of Spain, DG.
Is it too late for me to learn how to play ball? Because I feel football is now the real money ritual, in town.
I think footballers are the only one that is more exceptional in this world that no FBI
ritual is money
can investigate their money.
Yeah.
Because they make money legitimately.
You work, you pay as you get paid.
I'm telling you.
It's evidential.
Bayern plans to shock £50 million move for Mason Mount.
All right, I will be looking for a manager that will manage me, because I think I just have to go into football.
And also moving on, it will be reveals why his family don't attend Everton's game. That's a personal influence. Yes, Manchester United set July deadline to sign Victor Osimhen, our own Osimhen. That was the forward of Napoli. Sincerely, I must let you know that Victor Osimhen has break a lot of records
in
the world of football, especially in the Serie A, in Italy. Because as far as I'm concerned now, Victor Osimhen is the leading striker that has scored more than 20 goals within the space of how many weeks, and be the first time to appear in Serie A. He break that record.
Wow.
And moving on, Money in Furious brushed up with Nigeria's man. Ubade vows to make Nigerians proud. Those are our Nigerian international. Ateta admits to using Guardiola's tactics. That's contradicting. Details can be found on the Sporting Sun of today's publication. For you to have an in-depth knowledge of what has just been said earlier, just acquire the that side there, Sporting Sun. You get those details of those reports. Olaika, I think our director is winding us up now.
This is definitely where we'll be drawing the curtains for today's headline programs right here on the newspaper review. My name is Olayinka Olatunji, saying thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and of course to like and help share on News Poster NGTV. Until next time, do well to stay cool.
I join my colleague in saying many thanks for watching us. We sincerely appreciate your efforts, your time, and let's have your opinions, let's have your views. There's always a feedback in any communications. We can't do it alone. Till same time, same station. Till tomorrow. Say bye for now.